Alrighty, today we are going to be reading about Europe. We're going to read about Europe and some of the geography, some of the culture about it. Here's a big map. In my map, I can see different colors and different, what looks like it would be textures. So what kind of map is this? If it shows me the landforms, who remembers what that's called? Snejana?
Like mountains, plains, and...
Yes. What is the fancy name for that kind of map? It's a
valley?
physical map. A physical map. Something that's physical is something you can see and touch. Okay? We are all physically here. That means we're here with our bodies. The friends who are going to watch this on YouTube are not physically present. Okay? They're not physically in the classroom participating in group time like you guys are. They're going to watch it later. A physical map shows the things, shows how the land changes physically.
Sometimes I don't either.
Europe's western shores face the North Atlantic Ocean. The restless sea has gnawed away at this coastline over the ages, creating chains of islands, headlands, and channels. Ocean currents warm the northwest of the continent, giving a moist and mild climate. Southern Europe lands border the Mediterranean and Black Seas and are mostly warm and dry. However, Europe's northern borders are formed by the ice-bound coasts of the Arctic Ocean. In the east, the continental border with Asia runs overland along the Ural Mountains, the shores of the Caspian Sea, and the Caucasus Mountains. Europe and Asia are part of the same vast landmass. That's what doesn't make sense to me, because what is the actual definition of a continent? A large body of land surrounded by water on all sides that is not an island. So I've never understood how Europe and Asia are two separate continents when they're joined as a landmass. I don't know. I'm not a geologist. No, that's rock. I'm not a geographer. Geographer is the word I'm looking for. Thousands of years of farming and hundreds of years of industrialization have completely changed the European landscape. Dense woodlands have been cut down and steeps, natural grasslands, have been given over to farming. Great cities and ports have grown up, linked by highways and railroads. Wilderness survives only in a few areas, such as the forests of the far north. The European Union, currently with 15 member nations, aims to bring increasing economic and political unity to the continent, particularly with the launch of a single currency, the euro. Europe is home to many different peoples, cultures, and languages. English, French, and Spanish are now spoken in many other parts of the world. So Europe is kind of a melting pot like America is. We call America the melting pot of the world because we have people from all cultures and all backgrounds that live here, right? And Europe is full of diversity. Diversity means differences. When I lived in Germany, the crazy part was we could drive to another country just like I could drive to Chattanooga. Yeah. Crazy, huh?
In like 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm. I could walk across the border to Austria from where I lived. Yeah. So all the countries in the European Union, you do not need a passport to travel to. So you can just go there if a country is in the European Union. Now, not all countries are in the European Union, and so you still would need a passport to go there. It gets a little bit crazy. You have to have different, for driving through different countries, you have to have sometimes different stickers. That means you've paid a toll to drive there. Otherwise, if you get pulled over, you'll have to pay a bunch of money. So we always had to research before we went somewhere so we would know what to get. But the point is, it's very different. So up north, it gets very cold because it borders the Arctic Ocean. But you can go down here, in Greece and Italy, and it's beautiful with beautiful warm beaches. In Italy, they have vineyards on the volcano. Yeah. Vineyards where you grow grapes. In one part of Italy, they have a lot of lemon trees. They grow lemons, really big lemons, like this big, literally.
Like this big?
Like
They grow with
this big.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god. So the size of 2 apples?
And they're a little bit different than the lemons we get here because you eat part of the rind and it's kind of sweet. Yeah. But then, you can also you can drive up here to Germany and you're going to have a mild summer. Might have a few really hot days and you might have a really cold winter with lots of snow. Or you could go to Spain and there's a whole different language. France, a whole different language. Different languages all around. Different cultures all around. Different traditions all around. Different songs and dances. It's pretty cool. It's so close together and it's so different. Okay.
In that picture, is that people with all that red and the other thing?
I think we're gonna save this. We're gonna save this and we're gonna go on to our estimation.
Oh man. But I really feel like I was wrong and way too high. What did you get? I was right. I'm not guessing.
Okay, so we will see.
Can I just tell you what I think in there?
You're right
I
now.
know. I
Wait.
guess 100. I went something.
No reasoning out.
Like we just said that you wrote 200.
Yeah, and you won yesterday. They're talking nicely about you.
Yeah, yesterday Lake won our estimation. He got closest without going over. Is there anybody else who did not submit an estimate?
Almost. I want to be a first. Did you really? Did you really?
7.5 more days.
Until I'm a first grade.
A second grader. Okay, so I've got our estimates, and our upper elementary friends are going to do some different things. So they're going to be learning some new math concepts with your estimate predictions. So first we're going to go through the estimates. Let's see.
Is there names?
Actually, my big friends, so Ian, Lee, and Eden, get a pencil and you're going to start working on the first page while we're going over this.
I didn't write my name, so mine's mine. Good thing is we're legal. I want something a little bit lower than 0.
So as we're working on this, we're going to get our big friends started on the right track.
Can I move this margin?
I don't know who it is either.
Elijah?
Who does this belong to? Go put it in your cubby, please. So we'll do the first at least 4 boxes you can do right now. And then we'll probably all do the bottom one together. I'll do it on the board and you can do it on your paper. While we wait for Lee, I'll get a marker.
Can I go ahead and start? No. What's wrong? I don't even know if I can. I definitely can. You probably can only write
Okay. So, big friends, look at the top. I guess there are, what was your estimate?
77.
So write it on the first blank.
And then write beads.
Yes. I guess there are so many beads in the jar.
I wrote 77. Wait, do I actually have to write the one I guess?
Yeah, write your actual estimate that you put in the bowl.
Do I have to draw the beads?
No, just write the number. be revealed. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information. So think about what number you guessed in your head. And then I'm going to tell you that some of the beads are bigger than the other beads.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to point out that the jar is not all the way full, and that the jar has a small diameter and is very tall. So, thinking about that, and with your new information that some of the beads are smaller and some of the beads are a little bit larger, think if that changes your estimate at all. So you'll see right here, now that I have more information, I estimate there are blank beads in the jar. And then tell me why. So friends who are in lower elementary, does that change your estimate at all? Or do you think you're still correct?
I feel like I'm changing.
Okay.
I feel like change.
So why? Benjamin, what does that information change for you that makes you feel like you need to change your estimate?
Because I feel like it's lower.
Why?
Because there's less beads, and I thought that thing was full. What was the last one? What was the last one? How much was in the last one?
81.
81? Then there should be about 7. I'm gonna guess.
So Benjamin says that after pointing out that the jar is not completely full to the top, and maybe that some of the beads are a little bit bigger, he feels like his estimate might be a little bit high. Does anybody else feel that way?
Yeah.
Okay, so think to yourself maybe what your new estimate might be.
I think at least 8. At least 7.
And I have not counted these yet, so this will be a surprise to everybody. Yesterday I knew how many there were. Today I do not. Oh, maybe I should do my estimate since I haven't counted.
What is your estimate? What if you win? What if you win yourself a hug?
Try.
What if Miss Megan?
I'll put one in.
If I win, you guys can all give me a hug. Yesterday we had whoever was the winner got a hug.
Really? I miss hugs. I'll put mine in.
Okay. So the winner, remember, is going to be the person who gets the closest to the actual number without going over. So if the answer is 80 and you guessed 81, nope, you don't win. Okay?
What if you guess 80 same thing?
I'm going to guess
200. I'm guessing 70. I'm guessing 70. I'm guessing 80. I'm guessing 70.
I'm guessing 75. Okay, now before we actually count them, Eden, what is your third question on your paper?
What is the difference between a
Guess.
guess and estimate?
What is the difference between a guess and an estimate? Elijah?
An estimate, you sort of count, and then you estimate how much is inside. But a guess is just, you just look at it, take one glance at it, and then just say a number.
Yeah, so guessing is very random. You could guess anything. You could say, maybe let's pretend Camden has a big jar of jelly beans, like this big around, and he said, Miss Megan, guess how many jelly beans are in my jar?
200.
And I might say 40,000. I don't know. Now, if I was going to estimate, now is my guess based on anything?
No.
I don't know yet. My guess was not based on anything. I just pulled a number out of thin air, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm right, I don't know. But an estimate, for my estimate, I'm going to really look at it. I'm going to take into account how big around the jar is, how tall the jar is, how large a jelly bean is. In this case, we're taking into account that some of the beads are a little bit bigger than some of the other beads. And we're taking into account that this jar is tall and skinny. Now, if this jar was this tall and this fat, it could hold a lot more beads than this jar, right? What if I had a little baby food jar? If I had a little baby food jar, it would hold a lot less, right?
It'd be like 2.
Yeah.
Like an estimate would be like, if you were like, 20 plus 86 is about,
Yes. So what you're doing is taking the information that you do have and you are making an educated guess. So an educated guess means that you are basing your guess off of facts that you know. You know how big these beads are. You know how big your jar is. I could easily guess a number. I might say 5,000.
oh, good.
Did I put any thought into that?
No.
Did I base that on anything?
No.
No. So our estimate is an educated guess, and a guess is just random. So Ian and Lee and Eden, you guys can fill out that line, and I will start counting.
Oh my gosh, this will take a while. I wanna.
Oh no, I'm not gonna count yet. First, we gotta make our list.
We don't. Let's talk.
I'm gonna write our list on the whiteboard because our big friends are going to need to copy it down on their paper, and that way they'll have their list to copy down when they have it more time.
I'm guessing 70.
Okay, these are our estimates.
She's writing down her estimates.
I wonder who the winner is gonna be. All right, Lake guesses 200.
Can I change mine? Miss Megan, can I change mine?
You can't change the one in the bowl because you're just gonna use these numbers for. Now I will take into account your estimates that you changed if they're already written down. Okay.
I feel like
When I asked you how many you thought there was in the
I
jar, you
was
said
74. I'm over. My second one.
That's what you said.
So we have 200. Miss Jen guesses 72.
I want to change mine to 80.
I guess 75.
75.
Great minds, Miss Jen.
Great mind control.
Ian guessed 67, and he said he did not change his estimate.
Ooh.
I feel pretty good. I want to change
I
mine.
feel
This
good
is
about mine too. We're pretty
Elijah.
close.
Elijah.
We're only 5 apart.
I guess the 150.
Elijah guesses 97.
I want to put it to 80.
Lee guesses 120.
What?
Now Lee he changed his on his paper after learning more. So what did you change yours to?
74.
Okay.
70, right?
So we will count any changed ones from the big friends.
I only get.
Snishana guesses 90.
Lose mine so badly. Me too.
Benjamin guesses 77.
Everybody's in the 70s. What? Like, so many.
Luke guesses 87. Luke, yay. Eden guessed 77. Did you change yours or stay the same, Eden?
I stayed the same.
Okay.
Why should we not change ours?
And Camden guesses 150.
That'd be close to one both of us will get hers.
Okay, now,
150 is what Camden guessed?
yes.
150.
Is there anybody who is not in upper elementary that changes their estimate based on the more information? Elijah?
I wanted to change mine to 8. Who's the one that I wanted to change mine to 70.
Okay.
And I wanted to change mine to 50. I wanted to change mine to 51. But you not write down on paper. Miss Megan, I want to change mine to 51. And I want to change mine to 80.
But Luke, are you changing yours because Camden changed his?
Who's that one? I just feel bad. I'm like,
Eden, you're staying the same?
who's that one? I feel pretty confident.
Luke, you're changing to 51?
Yes. Who's that one? Miss Megan.
Miss
I'm
Jen.
gonna change to
Who's that?
89. I'm gonna change to 89. That's a weird man.
Benjamin, are you staying the same?
What?
Are you keeping your estimate?
No, I want 70. This is tricky. That's
Snejana?
80. 80.
Wait, come on. You go stall for
We changed to 74.
Miss Megan, you gave us a big blanket.
Well, I'm going to teach you all the things. Don't worry.
Oh, I know I'm gonna win. I know it.
Elijah, you staying the same?
I have
no,
80.
I like that.
Elijah.
80. 80.
Ian, you're staying the same?
Yes. I feel
I'm staying the same. Miss Jen, you staying the same?
Jen.
You
Yes.
staying the same? Lake, are you keeping your estimate at 200? Or do you want to make a change? This is your one chance. Okay. All right. I didn't change Camden's, did I? There. Okay. So now that we have our list of estimates, you guys can start copying these down if you can see them, or you can do it, I'll leave it up. Make sure you separate your numbers with a comma, because otherwise you're going to have one big giant number that runs on for eternity. Alright, here we go. We're going to... It was now number... Thank you, sir. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Who cares if I lose? Because it's my first time being this.
29, 30. Do we have anybody who's out of the running yet?
Nope.
Nope. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35,
Okay.
36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53,
Listen, guys.
54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60,
Oh no, she please be
61, 62, 63,
Darn it!
64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71,
Oh great.
72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, into data charts for us and doing some work.
So they're gonna start.
What you have to do, Miss Jen or Mr. Mark, could one of you give everybody a Post-it note? Because they're going to write down the actual number and their estimate, and they have to figure out what difference is between. How far off were they? So there's yes. So when you get your Post-it note, you can grab a pencil and you're going to subtract your estimate and 80. Everybody. You guys have a spot for this on your packet.
Right here. I put the numbers and
No, you have to order it. Look, Lee, you're going to put all these numbers in order from least to greatest. All of them.
From the lowest number to the highest number, or
The lowest number to the highest number. And so you'll have 80 and 80 together. Oh, okay. Well, here, do you want to solve it really, really quick? Find out how far off you were? What was your estimate?
70.
70? Okay, so it was 80 and you estimated 70.
10.
So you had a difference of 10.
I got 6.
Yeah, you were pretty close.
I was really close. 3. 6. I got 6. If I had 77, I would be like 3.
You did great. Well, Benjamin, it was really nice to meet you today. I've enjoyed you. And I hope that you have a great time on your cruise, and I'll see you when you get back, okay?
I'm happy I came.
Have fun. Soak up some sun for me.
I'm not
He was
happy I
fantastic.
What did you get?
He was fantastic.
Mine was 50.
He was a very, very well
I was
mannered.
hoping
You couldn't pick one. What do you mean? You didn't do your estimate?
Cameron was 30.
Oh, it's okay.
I was. He was 50. I was 30. Oh my goodness. Wait, you chose 30? No,
Hey.
What?
Excuse me, friends. When you have found your difference, then remain in your seat. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody what our big friends are going to do for us on Friday, because I have to leave. So they're going to work on putting your list of estimates in order from least to greatest. And then they are going to, they're going to be finding some statistical information. So they're going to find what was the smallest estimate, what was the largest estimate, which estimate was guessed the most times. 80. Then they're going to find the range. We're going to talk about what the range, the median, and the mode is. Okay? So save this, but you can start graphing your estimates.
How are we going to grab them?
You are going to, you've got a cheat sheet in your packet.
A cheat.
You have a cheat sheet in your packet. You're going to make a tally chart here. Okay? Then you're going to make a final results page. Okay? So this one is kind of your rough draft. So you guys, with the information you already have, you are able to make your list from least to greatest. You are able to fill in some of these. You are able to title our graph. And you can, so like what you would do is have each student here, what number they guessed, and then you'll make a plot graph, okay? Just like when we graph in our quadrants. And then you can use the cheat sheet to help you. And then you're going to fill out your, oh, no. Oh, the next part, you have to take a survey. So you guys can get started on this too. So all three of you are going to come up with a different how many question. Okay? So you're going to write your how many question here. So that means the answer has to be a number. Like, how many siblings do you have? How many pets do you have? How many pairs of shoes do you own?
How many chickens
How many chickens do you have?
Zero. About
Wheelies for shoes. There are shoes that have wheels on the bottom.
Okay, so when a fourth grader comes to you and asks you a random how many question, they are making a tally chart for their survey. Then after, on Friday, they will fill out this page based on their own information. Which actually I can probably show you really, really quick how to do these.
How many years have you been alive?
Okay, friends on YouTube, I'll see you soon. Bye.